Catus Maximus here. This time a fast review of these Master Mechanic True Value Hardware 4-piece hook and pick set. These are actually made in USA, and that's kind of what caught the attention of me, was these nice little acetate handle ones. I figured they're made in the US. They were kind of, they were $8, so they were a reasonable price, but maybe a little bit more spendy. Usually these types of sets are real cheap, so I was kind of surprised. It was real unassuming where they said made in the USA. They were a little bit more obvious in the back. And apparently a lifetime warranty. It seemed that there were a few token items that were made in the U.S. And it actually does seem to be getting a bit more rare, or not just a bit, but quite rare to find any made in the U.S. tools that aren't really like expensive ones. $8 may be expensive for a hook and pick set, but it's actually a pretty reasonable price. These are actually fairly quality units. They actually feel pretty decent, and they remind me of my old favorite Craftsmans that I've been using for like 15 years. They don't sell these pick sets apparently anymore. At least maybe I wasn't looking correctly on the internet. But these are quite similar to my favorite Craftsmans. They have 1/8" steel shanks. They have the 90-degree hook, the pulling hook, or whatever they call that, round hook. This is known as the complex bend, and then of course just the straight spike. Acetate handles, so that's what's really nice. They have a little bit of a different design. There's not as much of a collar on the front as, say, these Craftsmans. And they use a concave end where they're convex on the Craftsmans. But that can be adjusted if you don't like that. But I thought that was kind of an interesting take. If I can get my camera to focus, they do seem to be made pretty well. They are deeply inset into the handles, and I was actually noticing that. A couple differences is they didn't knurl the shanks, and I do like having a little bit of knurling on the shanks, but it appears that if we look, it's actually inset deeper in the Craftsman, so these are actually going to be less likely to pull out, and they really do feel pretty good. They're pretty stout, solid steel. It's obvious this is a pretty good alloy, and even if we compare that to these Craftsmans, these actually feel a little bit more rigid. Even though I measured them and they are 1/8" shank on both of these Master Mechanics actually feel like they're a little bit stronger, to tell you the truth, than my favorite old Craftsmans. And for $8, these things seemed, fairly decent. And they just have the nice classic acetate handle on that. I really like that quite a bit. So there we go, something made in the USA for only $8, and it's actually a decent toolkit. And you always end up damaging and breaking these things, and it's always nice to kind of have extras. Even if you have a lifetime warranty, it's kind of a hassle versus just getting another pick that you can immediately finish the job with. Anyway, I really appreciate everybody watching and subscribing. Kind of a quirky video, but it's kind of neat to see a little bit more American-made tools on the shelves. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Until next time, Catus Maximus out.